So, we are here at Ohio State University. I'm here with Paris McGee Jr., a former child actor. He's been in print advertisements. He's started a TV show with Whoopi Goldberg. He's been playing the piano for 10 years. And let's not forget, he's a 9-time Connecticut state champion, a 5-time regional champion, a national qualifier. I wrote champion because you know what? You're a national champion in my heart. Wait, that was a bad high five. I'm going to keep it rolling on that one. He's a national qualifier. There we go. And he's still a champion. A 2-time academic All-American. What an introduction. Hello, Paris. How are you?
First and foremost, it is my honor to be here. And I have to say, you made me sound like quite the gymnast with that bio.
You did the work. You did the work. I just read it and said a little bit of it wrong, but you did all that hard work, and you're so incredible. I've been so excited. Before we even start this podcast, guys, you need to know that, I found Paris on Instagram through, I don't know what it was, a hashtag. I don't know how, but the second I spotted you, I was like, I need to meet this human being. How, when, why, and we've been in touch.
Thank you.
It was love at first like.
Oh, whoa. I like that.
Do you think anyone's ever said that before?
No. You need to copyright that. Poor man's copyright.
All right, let's do that before we air this.
Gotcha.
But it was totally love at first like.
Love at first like.
So why don't we start by telling everyone what did it take for you to get where you are here, to become this gymnast on the Ohio State team, and anything, the journey. Tell me about it.
Well, first and foremost, the Ohio State University men's gymnastics team is one of the greatest programs in the country, without a doubt. We are the two-time reigning Big Ten champions. So I think that just goes to show how great of gymnasts we are. Mm-hmm. And to be on this team, it is my privilege and my honor. It definitely has not been easy. A lot of people don't know that I actually came in onto the team as a sophomore, as a transfer student. My freshman year of college, I originally started my journey at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and unfortunately, they were unable to offer me a spot on the team due to the limit and the number of guys they were only allowed to have.
Yeah.
And so I then stopped training, and I then, very, very late, applied to the Ohio State University, got accepted August 10th, Florida, August 18th. I then tried out for the team, and I was offered a spot.
It's amazing.
So it's been quite the journey.
How long were you out for before that?
God.
Don't even.
No, seriously, I stopped training in January. And I applied to Ohio State. And when I applied and I flew back home to Connecticut, I then picked back up in August, maybe 2 weeks before flying out. So I stopped for about 7 months training completely. And then when I found out I got accepted to Ohio State, I called coaches. I literally ran to the gym.
2 weeks?
Yes, 2 weeks.
You were out for 7 months, and then you trained for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And I didn't even train every day because at the time, my coach, who coached me in jail, wasn't back at home in Connecticut at the time. So I had to train at a different gym with no coaches, just me, myself, and the rod floor. And very quickly, I got some of my skills back, and it was good enough to be on the team at Ohio State.
That's
so
incredible.
It's truly a blessing.
That fact alone is the most incredible thing ever.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me what happened once you got here.
So I then came to Ohio State as a sophomore, and although I did make the team, I actually didn't compete that year. 2016, I sat out at absolutely every competition. I didn't even get the chance to exhibition, simply because the team was so strong, and everybody just was so great, and truly were perfecting their craft in gymnastics that at the time, that year for me was just a year of playing catch up for me personally. I did a lot of conditioning. I did do routines, but again, they weren't ready for me to compete. And so that year was very hard for me because that was the year that the team had won the Big Ten championship title at home at St. John's since 2007.
Wow.
So that was huge for us. And to be sitting in the stands while my teammates were out on the floor, getting the trophy, that was hard. That was very hard to watch because at the time, I didn't feel much part of the team. And although the guys and the coaches did tell me and ensure that I was very much a part of the team, not necessarily being down on the floor, it didn't make me feel so much a part.
Yeah.
And that year, they also had got third at nationals. And that, again, to be sitting in the stands with the parents, it was hard to watch. So that summer, I promised myself that I was not going to let that happen the following year. So I went in the gym that summer. I trained nonstop. I got new skills. And even that year was a tough year because that was the year of 2016. So after that year, they were going to be changing the code of points, which they did. Vault, start values became lower. Element groups were taken out. So it was much, much harder. But again, I consistently worked hard in the gym. And the following season, 2017, which was last season, I actually was able to compete. Woo-hoo. And what a lot of people don't know, was that was the first time I competed since 2014. Wow. So I have been out of action for 3 years. And just to be able to be back on the competition floor, that meant so much to me.
Yeah.
I remember the first competition back in Windy City like it was yesterday. I mean, I was extremely nervous, but, again, my head coach, Rustam, told me that if he didn't think I was ready, he wouldn't have chosen me to compete. So just to have that confidence from my coach, that was enough for me to go out there and compete. I smashed the competition at that meet, and it was a good one. And I was consistently in the vault lineup. I did compete floor. I had even had won the vault title. So that was it was a good season for me. But 3 weeks, but 3 weeks before Big Ten championships, we had an intra-squad. And in the intra-squad, as a floor vault specialist, I competed the floor exercise, and then I immediately went to vault. And when I competed my vault, when I had popped off from the springboard, my knee gave out, and I had an absolutely horrible landing, and I tore my ACL. And that was extremely devastating. I mean, I was absolutely hurt. And I remember it like it was yesterday. The first thought that came to mind was, I can't believe this. I'm not going to Big Tens. I'm not going to Big Tens. And my teammates knew just how bad I wanted to go to Big Tens, simply because I knew that we had a big shot at winning, again, which we did. And to not be there after I worked so hard was very disappointing. And that was hard. I grew very, very bitter towards my coaches, my teammates, even family. I was extremely angry. I wouldn't necessarily say I was jealous of them because they did get to experience what I wanted, but I was angry. And for the longest time, I mean, literally up until almost like 2 weeks ago, it was just so hard being around my teammates and my coaches. And to watch the competition at Big Tens last season, that hurt. It hurt. And at the time, I truly couldn't understand why God would allow this to happen to me. I did all I was supposed to do. I made sure my body was healthy. I was in the gym. I was working hard. So how come, why was I not blessed, with something that, in my opinion, I should have been blessed with. But I think at the same time, I'm continuing to learn that what God has for me, He has for me, and what He has for other people, He has for other people. So it just wasn't my time yet, to experience such greatness. And I still believe that with the year and a half that I have left, I will hopefully, experience what I wish to experience, and that is to be a part of a Big Ten championship winning team out on the floor in competition. But it was hard for me. And, every day is a struggle. It is. But it's one that I'm learning to endure because I understand that weeping may endure over the night, but joy will come in the morning. So
this is true. And just to maybe it can make you feel a little bit better with my story, with how I never got to compete in college gymnastics, but I made it. You had, your 7 months off. You only trained 2 weeks. That's absolutely ridiculous. You're like a superhero for being able to do that. I took 6 years off of gymnastics, and I had a comeback as well after 6 years off. I decided I couldn't live without gymnastics, and I was 18 years old. I was already in college, and I was like, I did an open gym and I did like a cartwheel and I was like, souls, like I miss this. Like gymnastics is so much more than a sport. Like we can all agree if we're involved in it. It's like, it's even more than a lifestyle. It's like part of who we are. And we have to start at such a young age that it literally is a part of our developing years. So when I quit when I was about 12 and came back when I was 18, those like 6 years I lived with a hole in my heart. And when I came back, I was just like, yeah, I want to do college gymnastics. And everyone was like, well, you're already in college. How's that going to work? And I was like, watch. I'm going to do it. And so I trained, and in 4 months, after being out for 6 years, I competed like level 7, which is, it was...
That's a big accomplishment.
It is. It's not.
It's not easy.
It was like a front handspring vault. I mean, the front handspring vault I got in like the first day, but like... I was really afraid of the balance beam, I'm not going to lie. I was like, how did I ever do anything on here? And, like, I was just trying to do back walkover. And I was like, but in my head, I wanted to do college gymnastics, but I was scared to do back walkover. So I'm like, what's going on in my brain? Who am I? But I did it. And my desire was greater than my fear. And I was relentless. And when people say, like, I don't understand how'd you do it, like, I had to, like, lose weight. I had to get strong. I had to overcome fears. And I did it, and I competed 7 and 8 in 1 year, and then that summer I trained 9 and 10, and I was hoping to compete 10 the following year, but my coach was like, compete 9. Like, they wanted me to win everything. And I was like, you don't understand, I'm 19 years old. I don't care about beating the seniors who are 16. Like, I'm trying to make it to college. I don't want to beat these kids. I want to look good for the coaches so I can make the team. I'm transferring in as a junior. So I competed 9. I did really well the whole season. I literally won every single competition except for one where I broke 3 fingers the day before the meet, and I still competed like a crazy person. Took like 5th. I don't even know how. I grabbed the bar. But I finally did it. I contacted Rutgers University. I sent them some videos, and they said, we'll take you as a walk-on for sure. And I walked on, and the first day there, well, I actually forgot a whole story that 4 days before states, I landed a dismount with my feet under me and turned in, and I tore everything from the knee down, both legs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I forgot about that little detail.
Oh my gosh. That's devastating.
Knees, lost cartilage. I didn't tear ACLs or any like ligaments in the knees. The biggest injury to both my knees were really bad cartilage. Like my knees just basically like rub on each other. Like there's not a lot in there. And that's still
hard as well.
It's very hard. It hurts very hard every day when it rains, and it's just a terrible condition to live with. The worst ankle sprains, Achilles strains, gastrocnemius and soleus strains. I mean, I didn't need any surgery, and it was terrible though. It was just like the longest recovery of ever. So I walked on injured, and they tell me I'm going to be the manager of the team. And I'm like, I did not
sign up for this.
Sign up to be your manager.
I know that's right.
No way. You're out of your mind. I remember I told the coach at Rutgers, I was like, can you just like watch me practice one day, like, and then like tell me if you still want me to be the manager? And like she did give me a chance, and I trained, and like one day in the gym, she was like, we put you on the roster. And I was like, oh my gosh, please, thank you. Oh, wow. Like, I thought I transferred schools to be a manager of a team. I almost just walked away. So I did officially make the team, and then the doctors just weren't clearing me to compete. The injuries in both my ankles were so bad. The pain was so bad, and I still couldn't figure out, like, what's the lingering issue. And they were doing MRIs. They gave me cortisone shots. When I got the cortisone shots in my ankles, that was it. Like, my mascara was all over the doctor's table. I was screaming. It was the worst pain of my life that I actually said, like, I'm done. It was the cortisone shots that told me I was done. And it didn't help that, like, I didn't feel part of the team either. Very similar to you. Like, well, you had probably the team aspect. Yeah. It was just when it came to competition, you didn't feel like it. Like, I didn't really feel like I was even a part of the team. Like, I was their teammates. I was a complete stranger. I mean, I was a junior. All those juniors were besties with their friends since they were freshmen. I didn't fit in with any age group. I wasn't fitting in with the freshmen. I wasn't fitting in with the sophomores, the juniors, the senior. I was like a complete outsider. And then I couldn't even compete. So I was like, who's this girl? But I had to retire from gymnastics. I had one semester. Everything that I worked for my whole life, 20 years of gymnastics, was for one semester to say that I did a Division I college gymnastics team, and I never understood why. Why, God? You gave me this...
It's so hard.
You gave me this feeling to want to do it, and I did it, and now I don't even get to have it. So what was the purpose? Well, I'll tell you, it's Jumptwist. If I never had a gymnastics comeback, I would have never started Jumptwist music, which turned into just Jumptwist, which is now providing music, movement, and motivation for the world. It's getting bigger every year, hiring more people every year. We're expanding offices. We're working with clients, gymnasts, coaches, cheerleading teams, dancers from all over the country and few internationally.
Yep.
Our music was in the Rio Olympics last summer.
That's awesome.
We had a girl from Canada use our music, Shallon Olsen. She competed on floor. Imagine.
You're still going to choreograph something for me.
Oh, 1,000%.
Without a doubt.
I cannot wait. We're going to talk about that in a second because that's like my favorite topic of all time. But this is the whole point of all this crazy story is that what you were saying, like, I don't know, like, why, like, why you gave me this blessing, why don't I have it? It's you'll know. You don't know right now. You might not know right now, but you will know because I was in that same position. I didn't get that competition. I didn't get to ever salute to the judges and do what I trained my whole life to do. But I got something so much more. I got a lifetime worth of like passion. This Jumptwist is my life.
Yeah, and it is. It's very like, you know, it's so hard to watch your team win and to watch your team do so well and just soar and progress while you feel like you're not moving along with them.
Yeah.
And you know, my coaches always treated me very well. My teammates always treated me very well. You know, they did make me a part of the team.
Yeah.
You know, to the best of their ability. But to be on the floor is a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that while competing.
Yeah.
So I know how it feels to compete and to do well and then to sit on the sideline.
You're so lucky you even got to.
How badly I wanted to be at Illinois. And we went there twice that year.
Yeah.
We went we went 4 Big Tens and then the competition right before that. So my teammates know just how bad I wanted to be in Champaign. And I was not there. I was not there. I was jealous. I was so, you know, I'm not going to say I was jealous. I was just angry. But Christina, girl, we about to go off script right now because I was livid.
Oh, he was livid.
I was livid. And
he was livid.
What made it worse was that Nationals was in New York, and I'm from Connecticut, so my whole family would have the chance to see me.
Yeah.
Now, I did have my mom and my 2 sisters with me the week of Nationals because that was actually the week I got my surgery, April 17th.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, and I hope the right people are listening.
Yes.
I wanted to be there so bad. But again, I know that what is for me is for me. Mm-hmm. And in due season, I will truly reap the harvest that I deserve and I worked hard for.
Yes.
So I don't know, why it happened to me. I don't. But deep down inside, Christina, I know that something amazing will happen.
It will.
And just like, my head coach said to me, one time I was in the gym, and a teammate of mine had, he made a comment about my comeback, and I had made a slick comment as if I didn't want to come back. And my coach looked at me, and he said, no, you don't say that. You're not done yet. But even when he said that, that just meant the world to me. He doesn't even know. But that, for my coach to still see some type of ability in me, that I can give towards the team. That meant so much to me,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And again, my teammates and my coaches, they do so much for me. They don't even realize, but they do.
Yeah.
So I'm just very, very thankful to be at the university that I'm at.
And when I tell people, too, like with what I do now with the choreography, and people are like, oh, they want to know what my gymnastics background is, that one semester I had at Rutgers really pulls some weight, I was a D1 college gymnast, okay? I did make it. I don't care how. Nope. I don't care what happened. I was on the roster. I was there. I trained there. I mean, that one semester, I have to give you college gymnasts so much credit. Wow, with the conditioning and the study hall, and then you have school, and then practice, and there's just there's so much involved in
It's
college
definitely
gymnastics. I don't even think gymnasts even know what it entails until they get there, and they're like, "Wait, what did I just sign up for?"
It's a blessing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So we have to talk about your dancing.
Yes.
Like we so have to. If any of you are like in front of like a computer or a phone, like you have to look up. This guy, he does the like. Whose floor routines have you done? I've seen the Simone Biles.
I've done
one.
Gabby Douglas's floor routine. I've done Lauren Hernandez's. I've done Simone Biles. I've done Svetlana Horkina's, of course. Now, hers, though, Svetlana Horkina is truly the gymnastics goddess. I mean, she's unarguably one of the greatest gymnasts, female or male, that has ever lived. Yes, Simone Biles she is amazing, without a doubt. That routine is a special one. And when I'm ready, I'd unveil it.
So did you film it already?
I actually have filmed it.
You filmed it?
I did. I haven't released it yet. But another person who I will do without a doubt is Zabnik Mucianu. Her husband was actually a former Buckeye national champion on the men's gymnastics team.
Amazing, yeah.
So he's one of my mentors. Him and Dominique both, they are great people. They're God knows, they're just great people. And I promised Dominique that I'll do her floor routine.
Which one? Devil Went Down to Georgia?
Well, see, that's the thing. I will say it is between her 96 routine or her 98 routine. That was, for me, that was a great year, in my opinion, for Dominique, simply because she was coming back from so much. And that year, she definitely showed everyone that she was still a force to be reckoned with. So I first started off with the Gabby Douglas routine, and I did it on the practice where the guys came in with their Halloween costumes. And so that day, I came in as Gabby Douglas. And so the guys were like, hey, you know her routine, jokingly, why don't you go do it? And they didn't think I really knew it. So by memory, he put on the music and I did it. And so we just
the tumbling
yes.
is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Are you kidding me? Like,
I try.
It's like you don't even know what to be more impressed with when you watch your videos. You're like, the dancing or the tumbling. Well, the tumbling is just like the amplitude is like, I'm a judge too. When I see that amplitude, my jaw drops. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So then the girls team found out about it. So they were like, they definitely have to see it. So then I did it through the women's camp. And then Simone Biles actually came to the gym in 2015. She was there in her gym. She was visiting friends. And she said, hey, I saw you do Gabby's routine. You have to do mine. And so I was like, hee hee ha ha, of course I do it. But, I had absolutely no plans of doing it at all whatsoever. I was like, done, because I didn't do it for like a trademark. I just did it for fun, for my teammates. But what happened was that actually for the girls' camp, I was one of the staff members. And so the women's staff had asked me if I can, do the routine for the girls. And I was like, sure. I did Lauren Hernandez's routine from the Olympic Games. And one girl recorded the routine and put it on social media. And from there, it blew up. And I didn't even know, like, certain accounts like Gymtastic, who are pretty big in the gymnastics world, were sharing my video.
Yeah.
So then I was getting so much feedback from so many people.
Yeah.
Even Arthur Nori messaged me about the whole routine. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so much bigger than, what I thought it'd be. And when I had shared the video on my actual page, and Simone Biles had commented, I knew that, it's time, to give it is time to give Simone, her respect and her due. And so I did her routine, and then once again it blew up. So.
I love it.
But I think I'll be satisfied when I can perform a routine at one of the women's competitions. We have every year a dual meet. Where our men's and women's team will face Penn State's men's and women's team. And we always go back and forth. Last year we were there, so this year they're coming here to Ohio State. Before I graduate, I have to perform a routine in front of my Ohio State crowd.
Yeah.
That would make my heart.
Now, which routine? So. Like your own routine? Or
definitely my own baby. Okay. I'm done with the impersonation.
There you go.
Give me some music. Give me the choreography.
All right, we have an intake form you can fill out.
Here we go.
Your strengths, your weaknesses, your flexibility level.
Unfortunately, Paris doesn't really have any weaknesses.
Yeah. I love that. See, now behind all of this crazy journey that you're going through, upsets, like there is this inner like superstar that knows the truth. about how awesome you are. And, I mean, how could you not? I mean, I know it's hard sometimes. Like, we're very hard on ourselves, especially as gymnasts. We're always striving for perfection, and we almost never get it.
I mean, that's what we train for, perfection.
Literally.
So.
And, like, how often do we get it? I've never gotten a 10.
Well, I mean...
you? Tell me about it.
You know, girl, back in my past.
Really?
Yeah, I've gotten 10s before, but, you know...
Oh!
No, but that's like JO, so it doesn't count, you know?
Oh, gosh, that doesn't count?
It doesn't count.
I would like a 10 in JO. I would take it. That's amazing. Look, I'm sitting here next to someone who scored perfect 10. I'm sitting next to perfection right here.
Please.
Believe this guy? I'm going to make you a floor routine.
Do it.
And then I'm also going to make Simone Biles a floor routine. So you're going to have a double duty.
So you're going to choreograph my routine. You're going to choreograph Simone's routine. We are going to get gymnastics fans and FIG judges. Me and Simone are both going to compete it. Yes. And we're going to see who does it better.
Yes.
So,
you guys have to compete
Miss
against
Biles,
each other.
I'm calling you out now, girl.
Oh.
I'm calling you out. It is war. It is war. I'm serious. I mean,
love this.
Hey, Simone, you've seen my tumbling, baby. Everything you can do, I can do better.
Oh!
I can do better. I think I should shut up now.
No, this is great. She's laughing. She's smiling.
Hopefully she is.
Hopefully she's listening. Yo, what's up, Simone? I'll see you at our one-on-one.
Oh, I've even done Nasia's too.
You've done Nastia's?
Yeah,
wait, so you have all these routines recorded but not all posted?
Well, I don't have all recorded. But everyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love my Russian gymnastics. I speak to my coach, Jusam Shepro. He's a 2-time Olympic medalist. You know, I speak with him in Russian, you know, when I get the chance. So, you know, I see myself as a Russian gymnast, you know. I tell people all the time, I am Horkina's living legacy in the sport, you know, baby? You know, it's Horkina, Musafna, Komova, and then Paris.
Oh.
So
you want like
my team knows I am a diehard fan of the Russians. You know, I love my Americans. I support them to the fullest. But, you know, Russia has my heart, and they will always have my heart.
Yeah. So is that like, you want like a classical style routine? Like,
well, you know, see, that's another thing. My teammates and even some of the coaches, and even the girls' team, they tell everyone, you know, who knows you will tell you, I'm all for the lines. You know, God didn't give me, you know, this body for no reason. You know, He didn't give me the long extensions and the beautiful finger points, you know, for no reason. So, you know, and then too, you know, being a classical pianist, you know, I've just grew to learn. To love that music. So, you know, I will say, you know, I don't mind showing the elegance of a floor routine. I don't mind showing them that. But at the same time, I know a lot of people, even my personal friends, they think I don't have the sass. So, you know, to do a collegiate routine. So I think if I could have a perfect mixture of both, that'd be perfect.
So the music would be like a little bit like maybe a remix type?
Yeah, you know.
Would you want like a little wow in there, like not expecting that?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I just nailed it, right? You know, I do this for a living. So.
Even a little Riri, the little wild thoughts.
Yeah?
Girl, what? No, I do have to say, one of my good friends, Alexis Madden, she's a singer now on the women's team. Her flu music is Wild Thoughts, and I absolutely love her routine.
So would you ever want to do choreography for a career?
A lot of people have asked me to do that. I wouldn't oppose it. I just never really thought of it.
You never know.
But again, you know, with this personality, you know, and, you know, the
and
acting,
these lines.
And I've done dancing in the past, actually,
too.
I don't tell people, but I have done dancing in the past.
Yeah. So you and I might be touring. That's what you're saying. I'm serious. I went on my first tour this year.
Hey, you just might see me on the Broadway stage again. Shh. You never know, girl. You never know.
I actually would love to be on Broadway, too, but I don't know doing what. I'm, like, not even 5 foot. Like, what are they going to do with me? Like a speck on the stage. Like,
and that's another thing. You know, I thought of maybe going back to that after when I graduate from college.
Acting.
I love Broadway.
You have so much creativity inside of you, and what you're doing here in this school academically and physically with the sports, it's literally just like setting you up. This is your springboard.
Yes.
You're right now on the springboard, and you're hitting it the right way.
This time. This time around. I'm hitting it the right way.
You are, and I know it's hard to see at this point because I couldn't see it when I was, I know I'm not that much older than you, but when I was in college gymnastics and going through disappointments, I didn't understand why, and I can really, like, clearly, like, it's very clear in my head why everything happened the way it did. What are you on there?
Now, we know
hold my hand?
We know that this right here is off script right now, right?
Okay.
Now, starting the podcast, I tried very hard to speak with I tried very hard to speak without an accent. Mm-hmm. But as I got very, very in depth with the conversation, I'm from the East Coast, I'm from Connecticut, so I kind of popped out. And
Strong Island.
Every time you say very, it's just you say it with a strong East Coast accent, and I love it. Because I miss it. Being here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
It's definitely taken the East Coast personality that I have a little away from me. But
the Northeast is definitely something.
It's the place to be.
It's a real thing that like I live in Florida.
But I can hear your accent, and I love it.
I lost it too.
I lost it.
I lost it.
All right, girl.
I used to be a lot worse than this, and I lived in Florida for 10 years. I still say Florida.
Mine comes out very badly at times too, as well.
And maybe it's like you're bringing it out of me. Maybe
I think we're bringing it out of each other.
That's what I'm saying. Anytime, my best friends, by the way, in Florida are all from the Northeast.
Really?
I have two amazing friends.
You know what's crazy?
What?
My roommate, my absolute best friend, guess where he's from?
Let me know.
The Northeast.
Yeah. It's something like, there's a thing. I don't know if it's the water or just...
I say that too. My friends make fun of me all the time because I say water. It's like, can I have water with lemons? I'm like, that's how we say it in the East Coast, baby.
Yeah.
They say water.
It's not just East Coast, it's the Northeast.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you,
water.
Pretty
like I taught her how to do a back handspring.
Handspring, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I'm saying. When I first went to school in Florida, they were like, all my schoolmates were like, say walkie-talkie. And I was like,
walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm late for math class. They're like, math class? Yeah. And they can't even say, they're like, math class. I'm like, wait, what? I spent the first month just pronouncing things for people. Chocolate, coffee,
Everyone who's
water.
listening, Christina is amazing. You guys have to follow Jumptwist on every social media account there is.
What?
You're amazing.
Stop. Thank you. I mean, I'm just me. That's
all we can be.
That's all we can be. It's just
me.
Just
Paris
us.
McGee.
Just us.
You like that one?
I'm just me, Paris McGee
Jr.
Do you know I didn't even know your name was Paris till 3 days ago?
Are you serious? What'd you think it was?
I was like, call me Eiffel.
Oh. For those who are listening, follow me on Instagram at @kwame_Eiffel.
Yes, you
can also add me on Twitter. I would tell you my Snapchat, but that's a little personal.
Yeah,
but it's the same thing. So add me there. Might not add you back, but hey, it's a shot. It's worth a shot, baby.
And what happens if someone adds you and you don't add them back? Nothing? There's nothing that they can't look at anything. You can't send them anything.
They can look at your stuff. You just can't look at theirs.
No way. I feel like it should totally be the other way around.
Come
on, Snapchat.
The paparazzi has been following my life since July 6, 96. So, what can I say?
That's your birthday, isn't it?
It is. It is.
They were in the hospital just snapping pictures.
Snapping me away. But hey.
You're like 1 hour old.
I mean, Paris McGee
Jr. That's great. You're an amazing person. And I feel like we could totally talk for 10 hours. This podcast could go on for 10 hours. Okay. We're gonna click off and then talk for another 10 hours. But I do want to ask you one last thing. When you have the opportunity to be heard, what do you have to say to the world? What's the best advice that you can give people in anything?
I think the best advice I can give people is simply what I am going through right now. And that is learning that the blessings that life has for you is for you. And the blessings that life has for other people is simply for other people. And through our own trials and tribulations, we just have to learn how to continue to love and support others. And know that in our due season, we will surely reap the harvest that we deserve. I believe that there's a time for absolutely everything under the sun. There's a season for trials, but there is definitely a season for triumph. And though people's trials are different from others, and certain people may experience more of a deeper trial or stumbling block than others, we all have our own journey. And we must respect each other's own journeys and just know that in the end, everything will work out for the better for those who believe.
Yeah.
So that is the greatest advice I can give to anyone.
It is great advice.
Just stick with it and know that your work is not going to be done in vain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still holding on. This season, I'm not sure if I'd be back from an ACL tear, but I do have one more season after where I truly, truly plan to go out with a big bang. And you know what, Christina? In 2019, which would be my senior year, my 5th year, my suave senior year, the national championships will be held at the University of Illinois.
No way.
Yeah. So, again, I'm holding on, and I'm trusting, and I am believing. Mm-hmm. And I believe that will be my year, that I will go out with a big bang. And hey, we might even win the national championships in Illinois.
Oh my gosh. So, You will literally be like, that would be like, you'd be like, okay, I'm good here. Like,
God, if that happens to me, I just lay in the arena.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so, God, you can take me now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're like, mission accomplished.
Exactly. I've reached
Peace,
my destination.
No, please don't. We want to see more of you. We want to see you, like, I would love to get you somehow on a gymnastics floor at like a, even if it's like before they do the national anthem or something, it should be like Paris McGee, do a quick floor routine. At like national championships, like JOs, like women's. Let's just get you out there. Like, I think people need to see that too, because I think you could help the sport actually get some more artistry. Like, get some more artistry. It's the best way to put
it's
it,
crazy
right?
because I get so many people coming up to me.
Yeah.
Whether I'd be at a competition or at, another gym, kids actually recognize me from the video, and that's absolutely crazy because, again, I didn't do it for like a trademark or to get my face out there.
Yeah.
I would not have done that to get my face out there.
You're like,
In the gymnastics world. Last year when I competed at Penn State, I would never forget, I was at the runway, and I know we got to finish up, but I have to share this. And I was warming up, and so, I'm yelling at my coach, to get the board straight. And I hear these young girls talking, and one of them has said, is that him? Is that the boy he did Lauren Hernandez's routine? And sure enough, they ran and they got their moms, and after the competition, their mom spoke with me. And, the young girls, young gymnasts were just really inspired, by it. And again, that's something that I would have never thought would have happened, but it did. Mm-hmm. So I'm also just grateful for the platform, I guess, that I have here as a gymnast here at the Ohio State University, that I can, in a way, inspire others because you don't know the small things that you can do that can just give hope to someone else. You don't.
Yeah, that's great. I can't wait to choreograph a routine for you. You're going to smash it out of the way. And I'm going to add one thing to that little life message at the end is that we might not always get what we want in life, but we always get what we need. Amen. Right?
I had an amen on that one.
Right? I think that's a good closer. That's pretty epic.
It is awesome.
I think we should hug it out on.
Yes.
You guys can't see this, but there's so much love happening.
She is so amazing, guys.
Yeah, he's the best.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes. Oh my gosh. If you guys want to see more of this amazing human over here, Paris, you can totally follow him on Instagram and Twitter and possibly Snapchat if he'll allow you.
And I will reach back out to you guys.
He will. He's good. I was surprised he ever answered me the first time. I was like, this famous guy didn't want...
I was actually surprised that you contacted me. I was like, oh my God, this girl from Jumptwist Company and Corporation just contacted me, Paris McGee? I was like, no freaking way. Dude, I was so hyped. I told all my teammates, and they're like, who's that? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. That's my connection, baby, not yours. But it's meant for you. It's meant for you.
Exactly.
You got to compete at Big Ten, so this is mine.
Oh my gosh, you're the best.
So you're an honor.
There's so much love in this room right now. Hopefully we poured this love into the microphone and it's going into your ears right now, right? That's all we can ask for. And if you guys have any topics that you would like us to talk about, Jumptwist, or any person that you'd like us to do a podcast with, you can comment in this blog post that we're posting this on below, or the comments on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere. If there's something that you're like, I need you to talk on this topic, or I really want you to get in touch with this person, we'll get him on the podcast. I'm actively doing more podcasts now because I travel so much, and I'm like, this is crazy. So let me know what you want to hear, who you want to hear it from, and stay tuned for next time. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye.